So defining engagement. Now this is a really interesting one because Anne talked just briefly about having engaged members because they're coming to ING Direct and they're signing up. So as part of this conversation, we need to get to a common, or at least for your organisation, an understanding of what engagement is. And that can mean different things for different organisations. Does it mean that you're looking at the web usage statistics from your website and you're seeing that there's lots of people who are coming to your website and reading information there? Now, 10 years ago, that was probably considered a pretty good measure, that you actually had traffic passing through your website. But today, probably not so much. It's an interesting indication that people are interested in what you have to say, but it's not necessarily a sign of engagement. So, like Anne said, is it signing up? Is it people actually bothering to go through the process of signing up? And for different segments, that process is a different thing. It may just be starting work at a new job. It may be that you've seen an advisor and they've edged you towards a product and then you become a member. It might be that you're actually motivated yourself to sit down and get online and sign up to a product. But is that engagement? Have we quite got there yet? And I tend to argue that they're not quite there yet. All you've got is an account. So is it actually getting the money? Is it a rollover entering the account and filling it up? Is it ongoing contributions? Does that equal engagement? I'll share an interesting story here. In preparation for this presentation, I signed up to a lot of superannuation funds. I went out, got online, I signed up and I joined and I went through the processes. Now clearly I'm not very engaged. I have more superannuation funds than is healthy, right? But I got through those experiences, and for many of the sign-up processes, I finished and right, I've got an account, now what happens? I'll wait for the mail to come in and maybe I'll take another step. But on one particular process, I was asked to include the email address for my payroll officer. Right? Now I just happen to know what that address is. It's a generic email, right? Type it in, press go, done. And I just forgot about it, I just moved on. Now 3 or 4 weeks later, I called up the payroll department. I said, did something ever happen out of that? Oh yeah, your contributions are off, they're going into that fund. Okay, luckily it was a good fund, so I'm in good shape, right? But am I engaged? Probably not. But that fund is getting my money. And I think this is a really important differentiator. Right? The fund's getting my money, but I'm not necessarily engaged. My retirement savings are still not going to be adequate. Okay, so has the fund done enough for me? Maybe not. What about if I get online and I start moving my money around? I flip through balanced to growth to conservative. Am I engaged yet? What about if I take some of that money and I put it into a member direct offering and I start trading shares? I mean, that's a pretty good indicator that I'm engaged. Now, we're seeing a couple of new concepts emerge here. Good engagement versus bad engagement. Do you really want me switching my money all the time? Maybe the right sort of engagement for a fund is to step forwards and say, hang on, Tiger, that may not be in your best interests. You know, have you thought about a different option? Each one of these elements builds towards a definition of engagement, and certainly through our research, we found that there were differing levels of understanding within organisations about what engagement was, but primarily the answer was, gee, I'm not really sure. We don't really know yet. No, we haven't stopped to think about it. Okay, so what I've done is put together a definition, and this is that target that, for me, this is a target that I would shoot at. Okay, it may not be right for your organisation, it'll be different for different types of funds and different sorts of customers that you have out there, but you need a starting point. So the definition goes like this. It's a bit of a mouthful, so I've broken it down into pieces. It's each member, not segments of members, each member demonstrating a behaviour. Actually doing something, even if that doing something is doing nothing. I'll go back to that example of switching the investments. Maybe they should be doing nothing for a while. So each member demonstrating a behaviour. At an acceptable frequency, again the investments example, not doing it too regularly, but at just the right frequency, and that behaviour is actively contributing to the enhancement and protection of their lifestyle when they stop working. Now, being careful with the language here, it's when they stop working, not when they retire. Not when they start to draw down on a pension, it's when they stop working. Okay, because insurance is an important part of what we offer as an industry to our customers. So if I can measure that each member is demonstrating behaviour at an acceptable frequency, and that behaviour actively contributes to the enhancement and protection of their lifestyle when they stop working, then I think, okay, well, I've got an engaged member. That's somebody who's doing something to get them beyond the 9% or 10% or 12% and to actually get to that point of adequacy so that they have positive choices to make about their lifestyle when they stop working, rather than fewer, poorer quality choices. That's what we're in it for, right?